Hey guys, welcome aboard, Deppel here. Welcome to Explain 11 Public Beta. It has just released as public beta earlier today, and I wanted to take a quick look at it, share my thoughts and opinions, see what's new compared to Explain 10. Let's explore this upcoming release together, shall we? The first thing you notice when you open Explain 11, besides the updated user interface, is of course the lighting. It has changed significantly compared to Explain 10. If you have played around with Explain 10 at all, you should remember the old unattractive, gloomy, dark environment lighting. This has changed significantly with Explain 11. The new lighting looks a whole lot more realistic. It looks simply amazing. Believe me when I say it, because I am a seasoned plane spotter. I know what airplanes look like in all kinds of lighting conditions, and this looks pretty much spectacular. And we'll see a whole lot more of this new lighting as we continue to explore this. Let's take a couple of quick flights. We'll take a look at the updated aircraft. We'll take a look at a couple of new planes that have been added in Explain 11. While we do that, we'll take a good look at the new lighting, at the new interface, whatever else we can see that's worth talking about, shall we? This is the default Baron B-58. We have just took off from Santa Monica Airport in Los Angeles, California. It's a good place to start, to take a look around, to see what we can see. And while I circle around, all I can think of is that the lighting looks absolutely amazing. This is night and day compared to Explain 10. I'm really happy for this. This looks really awesome. To achieve something like this in Explain 10, you will have to do quite a bit of modding and tweaking. It's possible, I guess, but it will take a lot of effort. And to have something like this out of the box, I'm really impressed, actually. And if I go ahead and accelerate time here, you can see cloud shadows, which is of course something that P3D had for quite a while, and it's done quite well in Explain 11 as well. Let's go ahead and fast forward through the day. You're going to see how the lighting changes into the dusk, into the sunset, and then into the night. It looks absolutely brilliant. This is all I wanted to see. This looks absolutely awesome. Look at this. I've changed the aircraft to the default Boeing 737-800, and we moved all the way to Miami, Florida International Airport. It's early morning, we have some trains passing by, apparently right by the airport. Visually, it looks really good, complete with the FMS. I would not expect the FMS to be extremely detailed, as well as any other systems of the airplane. You can see right away the default Explain GPS system going on here. At least they've put some time into modeling this, and for a lot of people, this will be more than enough to have a fun flight around in a 737. In terms of performance, I'm getting about the same results as P3D version 3. I'm running this on a i7 6700K CPU with a GTX 1080 graphics card. I had to reduce some of the settings, otherwise FPS weren't that great. They were usable, they were flyable, but they weren't great. P3D version 3 runs about the same for me. I have to reduce some of the things. It's mostly running on maximum. If it's a heavy aircraft such as NGX, I have to reduce it some more. If I'm just doing a VFR flight in a light aircraft, it's fine on nearly maximum settings. And it's about the same thing in Explain 11 for me, at least. And then again, this is beta. Maybe some things will change as we hit the release date. We'll see. So let me show you around the new interface a little bit. Up here, if we hit the Alt key, we have the classic menu going on here. It's way simpler than it used to be in Explain 10. All the things you need are still there, the plugins, developer features. I don't know if that's going to be in the release version, but it's here for now. I guess it will be, I don't know. Your views, your flight settings, and your basic menus to save a flight, load a flight, and things like that, the basic stuff. Up on the top right, we have a quick pause button. We have a button to change your flight settings, to change the aircraft. And while we're here, let's take a look at what we have in terms of airplanes here. We have the 737-800, which we're in right now. The 747-400, which you've used to from Explain 10, I would imagine. The new MD-82, Baron 58, you've seen that. Cessna Skyhawk, more or less the same thing as you've seen in Explain 10. Same goes for the Cirrus. We've got the King Air C90 here. The ASK-21 glider, Sikorsky S-76C helicopter, SR-71 with no thumbnail for some reason, and we have a Cessna Skyhawk with floats, which is interesting. On this side, you can go ahead and change your location. If you press change location, you can change the airport you want to be in. Pretty straightforward. The weather, you have the basic settings, and you can of course customize it to your liking much as you could in X-Plane 10. Just the interface is slightly different, it's improved. It's definitely improved because the previous interface has been around for many years. It was extremely outdated, and I'm glad to see this new thing come along. Down here you can adjust the time. You can also do that with your hotkeys. It's all very straightforward, easy to understand, easy to use. So I'm really happy to see this improvement. Also in the top right we have your ATC button. Next we have the map button, which opens this lovely moving map, which shows our trajectory over here. We can change it from VFR sectional. Of course, it's not real sectional, it's just something that X-Plane generates. IFR low in route, IFR high in route. It's all generated by X-Plane based on the navigational data that it has. Pretty handy, pretty useful. Also in the top right is a button to access your settings. The settings have changed a lot since X-Plane 10, just as the other menus, the other features. You still have all the extensive features that X-Plane is known for. They are much better organized, much easier to use. You have your sound settings, pretty straightforward. The graphics, here are my current settings. I could probably bump it up a little bit higher. As far as your joysticks and yokes, a lot of them will get recognized and you're gonna get this lovely picture here. It's very easy to see all the assignments for different buttons, for different axes. You can adjust all your keyboard assignments. Cool feature to have is search. Instead of digging through hundreds of options, you can search for what you need, find it here, change it, and you're good to go. This is the King Air C90. I've changed the weather to the stormy preset. It's very turbulent, and I will say that I'm not too happy with the clouds. The way the clouds look, they're just not quite right. So let's go ahead and clear the skies, shall we? I do not like that bumpy air. I have a couple of major pet peeves with X-Plane, which unfortunately have carried on into X-Plane 11, specifically snow, or rather lack thereof. They do intend to have snow and winter textures and seasonal textures in later versions. Don't know if it will be later versions of X-Plane 11 or will it be the next releases. They do have it planned. Unfortunately for me, this is a huge deal breaker. I mean, we're in November. It's snowing in a whole lot of places in the Northern Hemisphere, and I live in one of those places, and I want to see snow. I want to have stormy, snowy weather, and I want to fly into a snowy, stormy airport. Scenery like this in November, well, it's just not quite right, you know what I mean? Another thing that's not quite right in X-Plane and never has been is lack of recognizable skylines of cities. Right now we're looking at Chicago. And yes, it sorta kinda remotely looks like Chicago, but it's not quite right, is it? None of the recognizable buildings are there. Something that Microsoft has nailed years and decades ago. Chicago doesn't look like Chicago, Los Angeles does not look like Los Angeles. Same goes for most European cities and most cities around the world. What X-Plane has is its flight dynamics. I do not think P3D will ever be able to reach that level. Flight dynamics is and always will be X-Plane's strong suit. I've changed into the default MD-82 aircraft. The cockpit looks very detailed. I'm quite liking the look of this. They've done a great job with this. I'm not going to bother with the details such as aircraft systems and things like that. Just my first impressions with X-Plane 11 to give you an idea of what to expect in this new upcoming release. In terms of low-level detail, X-Plane 11 is still fantastic. As you can see here, we're pretty much parked in someone's driveway right now. This is something that P3D I don't think is going to reach anytime soon unless they do something radically different in version 4, which we'll have to see. And yes, we have changed into the amphibian Skyhawk. To summarize my quick review of X-Plane 11's upcoming release, I think they've done a really great job. The updated user interface is a much welcomed update. They've done a great job on that. A nice selection of updated aircraft, new lighting. Oh my god, you've heard my thoughts on that. It looks absolutely stunning. In terms of the weather, I'm not extremely impressed because the clouds still look a little shady. But that's something that add-ons can easily fix, so I'm not going to worry about that too much. Overall, it's a great release. I will take a much deeper look at it once it's released. I'm still disappointed about lack of seasonal textures, but that was expected. I did not anticipate them to be in this release. I knew they weren't going to be here. I'm still going to be sore about it. Deal with it. I'm going to finish off my quick review of X-Plane 11 public beta right here. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys next time.